Hi, everybody, and welcome to Fusion Wellness Academy. Today, we're going to do a neurographic soul integration practice. According to Cell Rachel, we leave our parts of our soul in those points in time where the trauma happened. So we're not going to go all the way into our childhoods looking for healing our traumatized parts. We will go into the most recent events, and in order to do that, we will draw ourselves in the center of a page. It's not going to be a perfect circle because we're hardly perfect now. And anyway, in your graphics, we don't use perfect lines. We don't use straight lines. We use bionic lines that grow into the message, into the image that we want to create. In your graphics, image represents reality through the network in our brain. And that's why it's called neurographics. So this is me. And let's say somewhere here is the time when we were all woken up at 3 in the morning by terrifying sounds and were made to run into the shelters. And over here is the time when you were caught on the road by a siren. And this is the time when you had to explain to your child what was happening. Obviously, you attribute your own meanings. And in order to represent conflict in your graphics, we use triangles. So I'm going to use a triangle over here, a small one, and with the intention of blending it in afterwards, harmonizing it. Okay, draw a few more figures. Maybe there's some disharmony in you. Okay, and to represent that, I would do something like this. There's a part of me that's lacking harmony, that's not drawn in, that's not blended in well. It's not integrated. Okay, you can draw a few more pieces, random shapes, not very well integrated. These are the things that happened to us in the recent months or in the last 2 years, or you can choose any event from your past that you want to integrate. And now, yeah, I think that's enough shapes for me. And now we will start blending them in by drawing neurographic lines. A neurographic line is a line that does not repeat itself at any point. This is not your regular doodling, right? And it's also a line that surprises us with where it's headed at every point of our drawing. Okay. So we will start to integrate all these pieces by connecting them to ourselves with neurographic lines, making sure that the line doesn't repeat itself and we don't really know where it's headed. That really surprised me. I thought it would go to this corner, but then it chose not to. All right. I really want to integrate this piece over here. It's calling to me. There's so much resistance. My pencil is getting stuck. Sometimes we're comfortable with where we are and we don't really want to change anything. Do you know what I mean? And when we come in with some kind of therapy or some kind of integration attempt, our traumatized parts say, no, we just got used to living like this. Why are you disturbing us? Why are you messing with us? Just let us be. It hurts as it is. And that's resistance. In Neurographics, one of my clients described it as my pencil just doesn't want to go there. And she actually couldn't. Almost until the end of the session, she couldn't force her pencil to explore the painful parts, the conflicted parts. Our goal here is to blend the conflict into some kind of state of harmony until we could no longer discern where the conflict was. In your graphics, the solutions are bionic. They grow, they develop. They're not forced from outside. We can repeat the same lines, explore them, make them more, well, alive. It doesn't want to go in that triangle. There's so much resistance to exploring these hurt parts. When we draw neurographics, we always try to pay attention to what our body is saying. You might feel cold in your feet or in your stomach, or maybe heat in your head. Just listen to what your body is trying to tell you without judgment, without interpretation at this point, just listening, paying attention to what the body is doing. And we're still trying to blend these figures in, these conflicted parts of ourselves, and make them part of one harmonious whole. All right, here we go. I almost cannot see the triangles anymore, my conflicted parts. Yeah, I'm going to trace the figure that is me. Okay, and here's a bit of unexplored area over here. That's really resisting my intervention. It doesn't want to be explored. All right, now every corner that we have here represents conflict. And we're going to round up all the corners in this particular way. The easiest way to do it is to trace all the lines with more neurographic lines, paying attention to corners. When you first start doing this, you don't really see all the sharp corners until somebody points them out to you. But the more you do it, the more you're aware of conflict in your drawing, and the more you're able to solve it or harmonize it. Here we go. I'm harmonizing all of these sharp corners, points. A sharp corner is a point of conflict. It's the point of a knife. It's the point of scissors. It's a spear. It's what people have always used to resolve their conflicts. And this is not how we work. We work through harmony, through exploring our feelings while paying attention to the body. What's the body saying? Is it still resisting integration of these parts? Not so much anymore. There's a certain relief, I would say. My body has stopped fighting this process of integration. Can feel my lungs opening a bit more. Maybe that's due to the workout that I did before I started this. And there we go. Harmonizing it. And just all the while listening to the symptoms in the body. What's it telling us? All right, nearly all the sharp corners are drawn in and harmonized. Do you see any more? Check it. Okay. I'm seeking harmony. I wish to live my life in a state of tranquility, but not tranquilized, right? I want it to be natural, not medicated. And this is where all the healing comes in. There's a lot of conflict in here. Where that triangle used to be, you can feel it. There's a lot of anger at the fact that we weren't safe. It's a simple biological reaction of the body to feeling unsafe. Nobody wants to feel unsafe. All right. There's our set of lines for today. No. Make it bionic. Make it grow. And be surprised every time by where this line is going. You can add lines if you feel like it. Allow yourself to explore your page. All right, here we go. At this point, we can start archetyping it, introducing archetypes, universal patterns that interact with us. We're not aware of them unless we pay attention to what we're saying or doing. They're very obvious in literature, cinema, uh, basically in our daily activities as well. If we pay attention, the archetypes will be there. The wise old man, right? The mother, there are many archetypes and they are complex. We are capable of interacting with them, deriving wisdom, growing through them and with them. And I want to start with purple. Purple is the color of the third eye. It's wisdom. I am seeking wisdom, so I could share it with my listeners. I am seeking insights into what happened to us. It's part of being human, wanting to understand why things happen and why they happen the way they do. We don't always get our answers, of course, but it's completely legitimate to seek them. We cannot demand them in this life. In this world, the truth is often concealed from our eyes. It's totally legitimate to ask. I want to create a flow of insight over here. And this purple color is flowing. You can feel something opening. I'm not quite sure where. Not quite where the third eye would be expected to appear. But there is an opening and there is a flow. All right. You can use whatever colors you choose, obviously. Doesn't have to be purple. It's just today I fancy deeper insights. I fancy awareness. All right. We can't always name the archetype or decide exactly what the meaning is. We just keep our mind open for meaning and insights to arrive. Really, all the knowledge and all the understanding that we seek is already within us. And if we know how to access it, it will flow effortlessly to the surface, bubbling up, ready for us to access. All right. Obviously, coloring, archetyping could take a lot more time. I took an A5 paper, so it will go faster because I don't want to make an hour-long video for you to follow, but you can put it on a pause and explore your own archetypes and your own colors. Use green. You can see green as the color of nature, grass, trees, bushes, the fresh air outside. You can interpret it as the heart chakra energy, the energy of love. You can interpret it as the energy of healing. Malach Raphael is usually associated with green. When you wish to call for some healing, you can close your eyes and imagine a current of green light coming towards your body, wherever the pain is, and allowing it to dissolve the pain, to integrate it, to derive meaning from it, because no pain is given to us randomly. There's no such a thing as random events in this world. Some people find it easier to believe that things are random, but for me, believing in God's best intentions for us is very healing in itself. A random world would be very scary. What do you think? Let me know in comments. All right. This is red, which you can interpret as the base chakra energy, connection to this physical world. The basic raw power of survival, of our attachment to this life, to this physical existence. The base chakra is about food and water and shelter and all of our most basic physical needs being satisfied. You don't have to fill in the whole page. You might want to leave some parts of it blank. That's totally legitimate in your graphics. If you feel the need, you can go over the colors that you chose with a different color. That's totally legitimate as well. Let's see what's calling to me over here. I think yellow is calling to me again. Yellow is the third chakra, the solar plexus. Obviously not all people who do neurographics connect the colors to chakras. That is my own thing, my own interpretation. The third chakra is quite a lot of yellow over here. The third chakra that is our power in society, our power to stand up vis-a-vis others. And I quite like it that the basis of this drawing is all yellow. There's a lot of power in here. A lot of power of standing our own ground, resilience, strength, emotional, physical strength. Yeah, great. All right. At this point, we introduce field lines. When you look at the map, you see the lines of rivers that kind of cut through the continents, and you can almost feel the power of the flow of energy. And here we're going to use field lines to introduce power from above, because however strong we are, however powerful we are, and however we're used to survival, might not be enough. We always need assistance from above. And in this case, I'm drawing them from the top of my drawing to the bottom because I'm asking for assistance from above. These are neurographic lines that are tracing the lines that we already have, or not. You can put them wherever you like, actually. They are much stronger than the other lines that have presence. And where am I going to take it? Not necessarily along the old lines. I want my divine assistance to flow through the points where the conflict was. If you still remember where your conflict was, you can direct the field lines through there. And here I'm going to merge the two lines. I'm using a marker for this. Going to round all the corners because I don't want to add any more conflict in here. There was enough in the beginning. And maybe one more field line to reinforce the healing, the integration of all of those parts. They might connect together, as I'm doing over here. This line is also a neurographic line, and it could surprise me at any point. And now The last point of a neurographic algorithm is integration of everything together, all of these energies that we put here. I would like to gather them together into one harmonious shape, and the shape of harmony is always a circle in neurographics. I'm going to draw a very big circle over here, point of integration, and then I'm going to make it neurographic, bionic. I'm going to allow this line to explore the circle and harmonize it. It goes wherever it wants and where I don't expect to see it. I'm going to round up all the corners that were created as a result of this circle appearing because I'm looking for harmony. Okay. And perhaps one more circle to integrate. This point of conflict is still discernible. This trauma is still present. So I'm going to try and integrate it. One more circle. And this too needs to become bionic and integrated. This area of the drawing was barely touched. Will unsurprise me. Where are you going to go? There's almost no resistance at this point, but if there is, I can deal with it. I can harmonize that as well. All right. Harmonizing all the sharp points that were created as a result of this circle appearing over here. It's asking for more attention, this purple circle. Wow, this is powerful. It's a powerful presence. This healed and integrated event. And at this point, you might want to make your drawing even more pretty. Might want to add lines or colors or color it over a few times. It's all good. It's all part of the algorithm. And when you feel like your drawing is completed, when there's nothing more to add, please pay attention to your body again. What are the changes? What do you feel as a result of this practice? And I would really appreciate it if you'd leave me a comment below. And looking forward to working with you again.